What's up everyone? Thank you so much for tuning back into my YouTube channel. My name is Nikki, aka Nikki Ham Yoga. Today we're working on noticing contrast in moving slower versus moving faster. So I have a fun little beginner flow for you guys around 15-20 minutes, so nothing too long, nothing too strenuous, just kind of noticing how it feels to settle into stillness in poses versus moving a little bit quicker, one breath per movement, like traditional Vinyasa style. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the video. Before we do get started, I would super appreciate it if you could give this video a huge thumbs up. It really supports my channel. And also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Again, super supports my channel. And it also keeps you in the loop for when I release new videos and good stuff like that. So don't forget to do that. But without further ado, let's hop right into this flow. It's gonna be fun, it's gonna be flowy, and we're gonna have a great time. So let's get to it. All right, so unlike other classes, we're just gonna start right in that downward facing dog. So take a few breaths here. You can sway it out. Sway the hips side to side, pedal out the legs. So just a few rounds of breath here to settle into some stillness. Are ready for that stillness, we press the front of the mat away from us, root through the outside edges of the feet, tilt the tailbone up and back to find that length through the spine. On that next inhale, we'll lift the right leg high. On the exhale, we hinge forward, shoulders over the wrist, knee towards the nose, activate the core, plant the right foot in between the hands, and we hang out here in our low runner's lunge. So super tempting to want to open up the hips, but we pull that right hip back. We're on the fingertips, super light on the fingertips. So if you notice that your core is kind of sinking onto that right leg, pull the belly button in towards the spine, find the length through the crown of the head. We're just using our hands as balance to hold us here. Awesome. When you're ready, on the inhale, bring those arms overhead for our crescent lunge. So we have the right hip back, the left hip forward. Always feel free to find that micro bend in the back leg to support the low back. So right here, just notice that stretch through the left hip flexor. On that next inhale, we lengthen through the fingertips, roll the shoulders down the back. Exhale, we plant the left hand on the mat and watch the right arm travel up towards the sky. So twisted runner's lunge this time. We still have those hips nice and square. Stacking the right shoulder on top of the left, gentle twist through the spine. On the exhale, we plant that right hand. And we're just shifting the hips back, straightening through that front leg and finding our extended pyramid pose. So the back heel might want to be lifted. No worries if it does. Just find that gentle hamstring stretch. You probably just said to yourself, gentle? This is not a gentle hamstring stretch. And I agree with you. Sometimes when I tell you it's gentle, it makes it feel a little bit less intense. Maybe. Probably not. So if this is an intense hamstring stretch, just send your breath to the back of that thigh. Always feel free to find the micro bend in the right knee. I crack myself up. All right, and then from here, we start to bend back into that right knee. Plant the left knee on the mat. Inhale the arms forward and up in that low lunge. And then on the exhale, we interlace the hands behind the neck and just let the head fall into the hands for a gentle heart opener. So in our low lunge, if you want to take your time getting there, We have the right hip back, the left hip forward. The right knee is over the ankle. And when you're ready, we open up the heart. One more giant inhale here. Notice how it feels to move through this pose slowly. Exhale, unravel the hands. Plant those hands on the mat to frame the right foot. That's what I'm trying to say. And then we straighten through the right leg, pull the toes towards the face, another hamstring stretch here. So it's kind of a similar sensation to that pyramid pose. So we have that leaping forward motion with the heart. We have some length through the spine. The hips are square. Settle into the breath here. My hamstrings are very, very tight. So if your hamstrings are tight like mine are, maybe you send the breath to the back of that leg and just use your imagination to exhale out any extra tension that is not serving you. On the next inhale, we'll come back to that low lunge, plant the hands, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, move the right foot back to meet the left. And then we make our way through our vinyasa. So we come forward on the toes, shoulders in front of the wrists, lower down halfway, chaturanga. Inhale for your up dog, we're on the tops of the feet. Exhale to roll over the toes, downward facing dog. Alright, so in my opinion, that was so fun that we should do it on the other side. Even if it wasn't fun, we would do it on the other side anyways, because we want to stay nice and even. Alright, on the inhale, let's lift that left leg high. Exhale, we roll forward, knee towards the nose, activate the core. Plant the left foot in between the hands, and we hang out in that low runner's lunge. So again, super light on the fingertips, belly button in towards the spine. We have the length through the crown of the head. Super strong front leg, super strong back leg. And then just notice here if anything feels different on this side than it did on the other side. If your legs are shaking, I'm right there with you. Sometimes when we move through poses more slowly, they can be more intense. So it challenges us to build strength rather than work with balance. On that next inhale, we'll come back to that crescent lunge on this side. So we reach both arms overhead, settle into the hips here, left hip back, right hip forward, maybe a micro bend in that back leg. On that next inhale, we lengthen through the fingertips, shoulders roll down the spine. On the exhale, we plant the right hand inside of the left foot and watch the left hand cartwheel around until it is pointing up towards the sky. So again, square hips here. We're stacking the left shoulder on top of the right to find the twist through the spine. Super strong back leg, super strong front leg. On the next exhale, as that left hand plants on the mat, we straighten through the left leg, square off the hips for our extended pyramid pose on this side. So again, super square hips, back heel is most likely lifted. We keep that length in the stride. So traditional pyramid pose, we would step forward, but just for the sake of today's class, we just keep that length between the legs. Breathe into that hamstring. Whew, I know I'm feeling it today. One more giant inhale. On the exhale, we slowly, gently bend into that left knee, bend into the right knee. Low lunge on this side. So left hip back, right hip forward. Square off those hips. And then when you're ready, we interlace the hands on the back of the neck. Try to take the opposite grip this time, so most likely the grip that feels a little bit more awkward. And then we just start to let the head fall into the hands, elbows away from each other. Open up through the heart. When you take that heart opener, make sure that we're still keeping those hips nice and square, so we're not putting any extra pressure in the low back, the back bend comes from right behind the heart. On the inhale, we unravel the hands. On the exhale, we plant the hands on the mat, pull the left toes towards the face. We can be up on those fingertips. You might need to lengthen out the stride a little bit for our half splits. So again, squaring off the hips here, left hip back, right hip forward. Breathe into that hamstring that served you on the other side. Maybe you imagine some tension releasing with the exhale. On that next inhale, we'll walk ourselves back to center. Tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, left foot moves back to meet the right, and we make our way through our very optional Vinyasa. So we can hinge forward, lower down halfway. Inhale for your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Before we move on, we'll take about 3 rounds of breath here just to notice how that slower movement is settling into the body before we take that same flow, 1 breath per movement. So maybe it was a little bit difficult to hold the poses that long. Maybe it was challenging in the mind because you wanted to move faster. Just notice whatever came up for you. 1 more breath here. And then on that next inhale, we lift the right leg high. On the exhale, we bring that knee to our nose. Step it through, crescent lunge on the inhale. Like I said, 1 breath per movement this time. As we exhale, we cartwheel the arms forward. Left hand plants, right hand travels up towards the sky. On the exhale, that right hand travels down towards the mat and we straighten through the right leg, extended pyramid pose. Inhale, that right knee bends, left knee travels down towards the mat, both arms overhead. Exhale, we cactus the arms, open up the heart, little baby back bend. Inhale, we reach. Exhale, shift the hips back behind you, pull the toes towards the face, half splits. On the inhale, we plant the hands, tuck the back toes, right foot moves back to meet the left, and we make our way through our Vinyasa. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. All right, let's make it through the other side. So we inhale that left leg high, exhale, knee to nose, plant the foot in between the hands, inhale it up to your crescent lunge. On the exhale, we cartwheel the arms down to the mat, right hand plants, left hand lifts. On the next exhale, that left hand meets the mat, we straighten through the right leg. Inhale, we bend through the left knee, bend through the right knee, plant the right knee on the mat. Inhale, both arms overhead, low lunge. Exhale, we cactus the arms, take that back bend. Inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, into that half splits. Pull the left toes towards the face, straighten through the left leg, heart reaches forward. On that next exhale, we plant the hands, tuck the back toes, left foot back to meet the right. Make your way through your last Vinyasa of class. Let's come down to the knees, take a seat. And then we'll just blink the eyes closed and take some time for a gentle pause here. So when we move through our yoga practice, especially if you're doing this quicker flow, sometimes we move too quickly through either class or life to notice the super juicy benefits that our practice does have. Or maybe if you move a little bit too quick through life, you miss out on all the awesome little things. So same thing. So just notice here if it felt different to move quicker or slower, which one you were more resistant to, and keep in mind the one you were most resistant to is most likely the one that you should focus on. So usually when we are resistant to something, it's just kind of our ego getting in the way, like, I don't like that, keep me in my comfort zone, that sort of vibe. So whether you feel like you need to move slower or faster, or if you're resistant to moving slower or faster, maybe you challenge yourself this week to focus on moving a little quicker or moving a little slower. When we start to get comfortable with things that make us uncomfortable, we really notice how much room we have to grow and how much power we truly have to create stillness. So maybe that's what you take with you today, just kind of noticing what comes up in the contrast of moving quick, moving slow. So right here, while you reflect on class, while you reflect on which movement you'll be taking with you through the rest of the week, just use these next few breaths to reflect and settle back into those deeper inhales and deeper exhales. On that next inhale, we'll start to close class, reach those arms out and up. Trust that the palms will meet overhead. We exhale to seal it into heart center. Thank you all so much for rolling out your mats today, to sweat it out, to be with your breath, to work with your body, and ultimately being here just for you. We'll bring those thumbs up to our third eye center and bow it forward, Namaste. All right, thank you guys so much for tuning in. That's about all I've got for you today. So if you haven't already, please hit that like button. Super supports my channel. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well so you stay up to date with any new videos that I release. And if you have any questions, or if you just want to let me know how this class served you well, or if you were more resistant to moving faster or moving slower, always feel free to leave that in the comment box. I love to connect with you guys and just kind of know how my videos are serving you. So feel free to do that. Other than that, I will see you guys next time. Have a beautiful week, a beautiful day, and don't forget to take those deep breaths. Peace out.